Ladies and gentlemen, introducing
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. We appreciate you watching. We'll get right to it today. We got a special guest in the house. We want to thank you all for watching the show. Please like, share, subscribe, and follow. Share this with somebody so if they want to come get the good news from us here on Thursday night at 7, it'd be good for them. I want to give a big shout out to our guest from last week, Kelton Johnson. Came on, told some great stories. One of those stories he told was about a person that served with him and paid the ultimate sacrifice. Medal of Honor winner, Sergeant First Class Christopher Feliz. We're going to read his Medal of Honor citation coming up here in just a few minutes. I'm going to bring the guys on. I wanted to give a big shout out to Kim DiLorenzo. She was our guest on episode 75, way back about a year, two and a half years ago. She's one of the ambassadors here in the greater Houston area for the Tunnels to Towers Foundation. So big shout out to her. Go check that out anywhere you get your podcast. Big shout out to our guys at Got Your Six Culture. They make all the gear for the show. We want to give them a quick commercial here real quick.
And what is that, bro? Damn, what is that, bro?
We always appreciate what Got Your Six does for our podcast. Big shout out to Becky Joe Art. Check them out. Project Zero doing some great stuff. They still got some spots available. So go to projectzero.com and get out there and get some adventure there. Contact Kyle Shudik. This is Vincent Rago Vargas. I'm actually reading Healing Through Hitting right now. I'm about halfway through it, and it talks about accelerated resolution therapy and EDM. What's it?
I don't know.
Yeah, the other thing where they do the left and right hemisphere of your brain and EMDR. Yeah. So thanks, Berto. So yeah, it's a cool book. He was finishing up his master's degree in psychology. Shout out to Rocco. Hope you feel better too, buddy. Let me bring the guys on real quick, and we'll get. Problems. All right. I know I'm having problems. I've got things in different areas, Matt. I think we're having latency. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Larry Bennett, what up, buddy?
So yeah, here we go. Let me read this real quick. Kelton Johnson came on out and told some great stories. You know, with how he met your son, and then he mentioned Sergeant First Class Christopher A. Solis, and we said that we were going to prepare and read his citation. So without further ado, the President of the United States of America, authorized by the Act of Congress, March 3rd, 1863, has posthumously awarded in the name of Congress the Medal of Honor to Sergeant First Class Christopher A. Solis, United States Army, for conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity at the risk of his life above and beyond the call of duty. Sergeant First Class Christopher A. Solis distinguished himself by conspicuous gallantry above and beyond the call of duty while engaged with the enemy in Paktia province, Afghanistan, on July 12, 2018. As the leader of a special purpose unit composed of partnered forces and members of the 1st Battalion, 75th Ranger Regiment, Sergeant First Class Solis led an operation to clear clear an area of enemy forces and thereby disrupt future attacks against the government of Afghanistan and allied forces. Shortly after his team reached their final objective, a large enemy force attacked, placed effective fire on him and his team, preventing them from maneuvering to counterattack. Realizing the danger the attack posed to his team and the operation, Sergeant First Class Solis voluntarily exposed himself to intense enemy machine gun and small arms fire to retrieve and employ a heavy weapon system, thereby allowing the U.S. and partnered forces to regain the initiative, maneuver to a secure location, and begin treatment of a critically wounded partnered force member. As a medical evacuation helicopter arrived, it was immediately engaged by accurate and sustained enemy fire. Knowing how critical it was to quickly load the casualty, Sergeant First Class Solis willingly exposed himself to heavy enemy fire to direct and lead the evacuation. As the casualty moved from position to a cover and out into intense enemy fire, Sergeant First Class Solis made a conscious effort to ensure his body acted as a physical shield to his team carrying the casualty and the crew of the aircraft. As the casualty was loaded and Sergeant First Class Solis' team returned to cover, he alone remained at the aircraft, returning a high volume of fire and constantly repositioning himself to act as a physical shield to the aircraft and its crew. With his final reposition, Sergeant First Class Solis placed himself directly between the cockpit and the enemy, ensuring the aircraft was able to depart. As the helicopter lifted off, Sergeant First Class Solis was hit by enemy fire. Fully aware of his own injury by understanding the peril to the aircraft from the intense enemy machine gun fire, Sergeant First Class Solis motioned to the aircraft to depart rather than remain behind to load him. His selfless actions saved his life of the evacuated partner force member and almost certainly prevented further casualties among the members of his team and the aircrew. Throughout the entire engagement, Sergeant First Class Solis significantly changed the course of battle by repeatedly placing himself in extreme danger to protect his team, defeat the enemy, and it ultimately cost him his life. Sergeant First Class Solis' extraordinary heroism and selflessness above and beyond the call of duty were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit upon himself, his unit, and the United States Army. So, yeah, big shout out to Kelton Johnson, hell of a storyteller, and we wanted to pay honor to the fellow Ranger that you talked about last week. Cheers to you, brother. Got to take a drink after that, man. I'm out of breath.
A lot of words, a lot of big words. I'm glad you did that.
I blacked out there. Did I do it?
Yeah. You answered the question flawlessly. I don't know how you got that one out. I just went to another place.
Yeah, but shout out to Kelton Johnson, hell of a guest. All right, fellas, what's going on?
Well, Jen Lee, Al's ready for the Danny Deeds. I don't know.
Don't say that.
We're gonna do good at walking some boxes up there, though.
Yeah, don't put that on me yet. I'm working at it.
He's burning brisket, Jen. He's burning brisket.
I'm getting better.
His burn ends look good though. That's about all. Like they burnt too.
Yeah, you want to burn. It says burnt in the title.
Little shout out to some of the platoon there getting in the comment section. Got CIA Bob. Got Al. I served with her. She's a badass doc. Larry Bennett. I heard someone talk about him earlier. What's up? Legend. That's the legend that I call Larry Bennett legend.
Mac Verdi's in the house.
Yeah, Mac Verdi. Yeah, I thought I saw a comment from Mac Verdi. What does he say? My guy's been a while. Yeah, Mac's been doing some good. Look at that. Official loaner of Major League Baseball.
Nice.
Yeah,
throwing out first pitches at Miami and shit.
And then Doc's son, I think it's her son, somebody named Preston's watching. So shout out to Preston. He's getting ready for basic.
Oh, very cool. All right, what else we got going on, fellas?
I do want to
literally lost my place after reading that.
You're good. I just want to complain to the world for a minute. Look, I'm all for.
Let me hook you up.
Go ahead. I'm all for people, anybody that wants to live the American dream, come over here, start a business, do your thing. Like that's what we do, right? say Hajis and shit. They were from India, like dot Indian, not a feather, no big deal. Not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. What I'm saying is, if you're gonna open a restaurant, at least learn, especially in the South, learn some Southern culture. Like learn a little bit about how we operate. We were at a restaurant the other day. My father-in-law was sitting there. He had like half a glass of sweet tea. He asked for a refill, and the lady straight said, "No." She said, "No. You need to finish that tea before we refill your glass," and then walk the fuck off. Training timeout. If I want the whole pitcher, if I want you to brew me 6 pitchers of sweet tea, that's what you're gonna do. I'm in here for a service. I'm gonna start teaching classes. Matt, you can help me. I'm gonna start teaching Southern culture classics for like anybody that comes over here and wants to start an entrepreneurial business and wants to get ingrained in the good old south of the United States, the Southern Hemisphere. I will teach you some of our nuances, some of our lingo when we say yonder, like that's a location. Right? Some of that type of shit. But yeah, if I ask for fucking sweet tea, you gonna fill my shit up. Or I'm flipping tables in this motherfucker. I just want to throw that out there. Like, I don't know how you operate.
How many tables did you flip?
Oh, I was so shocked and just dumbfounded. Like, I thought it was a joke. Like, I was like, surely this bitch is going to get the picture of sweet tea. She did not come back with sweet tea. I don't think he ever got a refill, even when he finished his shit.
And she still got a good tip.
Oh no, bro! She got that the old school like 1998 tip, like that $3 tip. Do better. The do better tip. You need.
Here's a tip. When I asked for sweet tea,
it was crazy. So her husband is the manager of this restaurant here, this local restaurant, and they're good. They serve like great wings. They got like a bar, pool tables. Like it's a cool little spot, right? So he's the manager. Like I don't even think she works here for real. Like she just showed and took our order. I was like, first of all, another lady took our order. Like she literally got up from the bar. She was drinking, walked over, took our order. I was like, oh, that's pretty weird. And I was like, oh, you're a waitress. I've talked to her before. I was like, oh, you're. She makes a banging ass lumpia. I was like, oh, you're a waitress here now. She says, no, I'm just helping out. Like took our order, and then the guy's wife came over like to bring our food and to like refill our glasses and shit. Like the whole time, her little kids running around the table, playing on the stage, sitting on the pool table. I'm like, what? I don't know where the fuck we're at, but it feels like third worldish. Like we asked for some sweet tea. You told me no. Like, not like, oh, we'll brew a pot. It was like, no, you got to finish that shit first. Like, I don't know what spot in India these people are from, but it's off the tourist list. I'm not vacationing there, and you, ma'am, are off the Christmas card list officially, off my list. So yeah, that happened here. Like I was like, this is the greatest shit I've ever seen.
So when's the next time you're going back to eat there?
Oh, I went there the other night, got me some wings to go. Like I don't care. I don't drink sweet tea. If I'm at a bar, I'm drinking bar drinks. You know what I'm saying? I'm drinking like.
Yeah, if you would have asked for another beer halfway down, they would have got that shit.
My beers was kept coming. I was like, let me get another one. She was like, shit, yeah, fuck another beer. But I guess apparently sweet tea is a commodity, and you don't get but one glass a meal until you finish that. And fuck, if you need to eat the fucking ice cubes too. Like drink the tea, eat the ice cubes, we'll hook you back up.
Oh my god.
It was crazy. I asked for a side of ranch, Matt. No, I got like a jar of ranch. Like she just brought the bottle over and sat on the table. I'm like, sweet. I like ranch, but what the fuck? Like, can I get a cup of ranch? She's like, fuck this. Brings me the whole shit out the kitchen. Sits on the table. Like this is crazy.
She's like, I don't even want to put it in the serving cup. Just let me know when you're done with it so we can just go put it on the table.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, how many other nasty meth heads have molested this bottle of ranch? And here I am about to touch it and squeeze it on my chicken wings. This is crazy. It was crazy. Shout out Weewood Hitchcock, Florida. If you're ever in Weewood Hitchcock, Florida, go to Gilligan's Bar and Grill. You might be the only motherfucker in there, but it is crazy.
That makes it even funnier. The bar's named Gilligan's, dude. 3-hour tour. They lost. They don't know what's going on. You should have known you weren't getting no service there.
Bro, I've been in this bar before, me and my brother-in-law. Like, this lady showed up. She's slamming Bloody Marys. And I'm like, oh, she's wearing scrubs. Like, she must be getting off work. No, she was headed to work at the hospital. Like, literally drank 3 Bloody Marys. Like, well, got to head out. I don't want to be late for my shift. I'm like, this lady's a nurse. She's about to kill somebody tonight.
Well, I mean,
like, this place is a different breed of people in Weewood Hitchcock, Florida, bro.
Well, think about like all the shit she's about to go see in We Will Hit You, Florida tonight. She might have needed him Bloody Mary.
Bro, We Will Hitchcock's a different breed. Like it's when I say small town, it's like beyond that. Like there's a Subway, a Burger King, a Mexican restaurant, of course,
And Gilligan's,
bro. That's it. Unless you want to drive 30 minutes into Panama City Beach, or you want to drive 30 minutes into Port St. Joe or Mexico Beach, like that's all you got, bro. And we can't go to Subway anymore because my brother-in-law likes sleeping with people from Subway. So if you work at Subway and you're looking for a man, my brother-in-law is really in tune and loves Subway ladies. For real.
Hey, so you have to make sure I get the correct spelling of Weehawken, Florida, so I can blow up their social media. I'm putting that reel right there, all over Weehawken, Florida.
We will Hitchka.
We will Hitchka.
We will hitch you a ride out of town.
It's crazy here.
See, that's why you should just buy your vacation house
In
Texas.
Boom.
I should have. Looking back, I mean, hindsight.
I bet you would have got a way bigger house.
For sure. Hindsight being what it is.
Shit, you know you wasn't gonna get no house in Texas.
Nah, bro. The way my credit score is and the way my bank account's set up, probably not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you already own 2 houses, so who cares about the credit score?
Mac Bird and his team had to work miracles to get me into this house, but they did it.
Yeah, but
Shout
you
out
already
Mac
got it.
Birdie. Let's do another one, he says.
Yeah, let's do it.
Mac Verdi like that dude in front of the base. Bad credit, low credit, no problem. Let's go get it.
Yeah, he got you. Mac and his team will hook it up. They're gonna find you a spot for sure.
Yeah. Beggars can't be choosers. Man.
So what y'all have going on lately? We're coming up on the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, and Matt, you're not going to be here next week, so we're going to be asking you some questions this week about America and our forefathers and what the country's made of and how you feel things are going as in your life. Because I mean, we talk all the time about you being a man of 27 jobs. So
I'm Jamaican, dude.
Yeah.
You guys seen In Living Color?
Yeah, you really are.
I got 2 jobs. Well, I mean, I got 27 jobs. I just need some of them jobs to start paying a motherfucker. You know what I mean? That'd be great. That'd be awesome.
Right.
I'm just kidding. We're doing good.
I hear pay, Max says.
Pay here. Hell yeah, dude. Let's go.
Well, we got before we get started then, before we get into whatever we're going to talk about, because we didn't really talk about it. We'll just talk about what comes up. But we got a special friend of the podcast in the house.
Literally in the house.
Yeah, in the house, sitting right next to me. Some call him the Army Buddha, but he's
Berto. Thank you, Ty. Hey, what's up, TTV crew?
What's up, Berto? Good to see you, bro.
Texas, you're welcome. We even kept the heat on for you to come here.
Yeah. Holy smoke. I heard a great quote to describe the air here. And it is, when you open the front door, you're going to walk through mayonnaise before you get to your car.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're going to have to wring out the towel once you get in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have to have a towel in the map door, in the center console, in the glove box.
Dude.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know, man. It wasn't that bad until you decided to come in town, though.
No, it's been 105 here. The heat index has been 105, bro. Like
Florida 105 is beautiful.
It's wet. Like it's like Berto said, it's wet, bro. You walk outside, like I took the trash out, came inside, I was like, I need to take another fucking shower. Like, my butt crack's sweaty. My butt crack is damp. You know what I'm saying?
Your body said, I'm getting wet now.
Yeah. No,
you're not waiting for your shower. We're getting wet now.
No, we're dampening it up here. Butt crack.
Yeah,
damp.
we don't buy saunas in Texas. We don't have to. We just go walk outside.
Right.
Sit outside your yard for a little bit. Hope
in your lawn chair like a redneck and just sit there and say, "What you doing?" I'm sweating it out, bro. I'm sweating it out.
Wasn't Robin Williams who said, "I got sweat coming down my ass crack like Niagara"?
Yeah, bro. Like my ass gets sweaty out here. Make your socks get damp. That's how bad it just rolls on down.
Okay. Oh yeah, I just I got a new Chanel for Father's Day, Mac.
What's you got a purse?
No, Talk about cologne.
Perfume,
Party
Yeah.
foul.
Cologne.
Sorry.
Chanel cologne. Look at you, baller.
Yeah,
I'm on
right.
that. I'm on that Stetson and Old Spice still, bro. That shit's like $7.50 at the Dollar General.
Bro, I just put deodorant on. How about that?
Yeah, double it up. Yeah. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
I just put deodorant on. That's it.
Look at old Ty cooking. His wife hooked him up with some Chanel.
Yeah.
Tatum be
All right,
wearing
so
most
let's
of the time,
do this. So for everybody that's out there, this one's going to be a little bit different. We don't have a guest. It's time for us to just kind of like talk a little bit today, and I don't know, talk about whatever comes up. So instead of trying to figure out what we're talking about, Ty, you got a list of shit to talk about. Let's start talking about some stuff.
Let's go.
All right, here we go. So, what do y'all know about the giraffe that is loose in Texas?
Not a clue,
Absolutely nothing.
but
All
it
right.
sounds intriguing and pretty amazing.
All right. So check
Is
it out.
Alan driving it down the interstate? That's all I want to know, because if that's happening, somebody needs to stop him before he gets to a bridge.
So Gracie, a giraffe that escaped from a ranch near Leakey, Texas, remains on the loose in the Texas Hill Country. So this giraffe is just out there chilling, grazing, among the Texas plains and whatnot. And there's a party going after them, and they're having to ask all these ranchers, "Can we enter your property?" So it's
I was going to ask that. How is it still
Communication.
on the loose?
But what I'm saying
Considering-
is, but read the caption. It says that he remains on the loose. When you talk about a criminal being on the loose, that means they can't find him. You know what I mean? How can
Yeah.
you not find a giraffe?
yeah, I mean, giraffe leaves pretty good tracks. So.
Well,
And
it's
he's
like 25
pretty fucking
feet
tall.
Yeah, I mean, his head's it's a giraffe. You're not like, look at the fucking German Shepherd. You're like, that's a motherfucking giraffe. Like,
Yeah.
you know what that is. Like, that's insane.
Yeah.
But if it's in the Texas plains, I mean,
Yeah,
I
maybe,
just drove
yeah.
13 hours from Albuquerque to get here, right? It's vast.
Yeah,
right?
maybe
and,
so.
And do they have the funding to have multiple helos, right?
Okay,
and search parties and stuff like that? And
Well,
I
here's
think
the
you're
question,
hinting at,
though.
Ty, that it's going through private properties.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
communication issue being able to talk to all the property owners to gain permission, but for this party to find this fucking
Bro, that thing's in
I-
Texas. They're never gonna find it because that thing is already mounted on somebody in Texas.
That's what I was about to say. They keep fucking
that thing's
around. That
already
thing
been
ain't going
mounted,
home.
bro. You're never finding Gracie's. She's on some Texas rancher's living room wall above the mantle. Like, you got a buck? Look what I got. Like, that thing ain't never gonna be found, dude.
Yeah.
And I
She got
didn't
an
have to go
appointment
to
at the
Africa.
taxidermist.
Yeah, and I didn't have to go to Africa for it. Look at this shit. Like, man, that's on somebody's wall, bro. Shout out Gracie, R.I.P.
But why would you have a giraffe in the first place? I mean, I get, I made the joke, Alan wanted a giraffe because he thought it would be cool. Is that why they have a giraffe?
Because it's Texas, bro. They got too much money. They're like, fuck it, dude, giraffe. Like,
I mean-
if I could get one, I mean, why not?
I mean, I get that, but also, Berto, to your point, yes,
Mm-hmm.
Texas Hill Country is vast, but how many trees did you see while you was driving through that Texas Hill Country, bro?
A lot, because I didn't drive any interstates. I hit
No.
36 or 39. So
But
they
I'm
could take me
talking-
diagonal.
Canopy covered tree where you can't see nothing. There's trees out there, but there's a lot of wide open land, dude.
Mhm. So, as well as New Mexico.
Yeah.
They ain't even trying. to find
R.I.P.
that giraffe.
R.I.P. Gracie. They ain't gonna find her. She's in somebody's freezer. She steaks and brisket. She's ready. She ready for the barbecue. Somebody barbecuing that ass this weekend. I promise.
No,
They
listen,
got
I've
giraffe
been in this
ribs.
state for 2 days. That giraffe is under a tree getting some shade.
Yeah.
That's why they can't find her.
Oh yeah. That's probably true too. That's probably true too. 100%.
That's crazy, Ty.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's some funny stuff. So this is episode number 156. So what did y'all think about the 155 that came before? Who's some of y'all's favorite guests? Who's what's some things that you've learned that have really made you better in your everyday life? Because we talk about this all the time. It's therapy for me to do this. I love coming together and talk to you and know what's going on with y'all's family. So what's the podcast kind of done for you over the last 155?
So I think you kind of nailed it. as far as it being therapeutic, for me, it's almost it'd be impossible really to say these were my favorite or best guests. We've had so many dynamic guests on, right? Guys and gals that were just absolutely phenomenal in what they're doing for the veteran community, what they've done with their service. So it's I mean, it's I couldn't lock down and say that was my favorite. We've had some big name guests and some not so big name guests, but I feel like everybody, we take something from everybody. You know, it's just like leadership, right? You take the goods and bads from everything. I think we take a little bit. Hopefully we give some back, but we take a lot from some of our guests in the learning aspect. I mean, we had Berto on many of episodes coming on talking about the mental health crisis in the veteran community and giving out ideas and really giving us all free lessons on mental health and how to cope and deal with things. So you take stuff from all these guests. I don't think I could say I've had some guests that were like fun, like they had funny stories, but at the end of the day, I feel like as a whole, we've really put together a catalog of very impressive guests that come on, and just hearing their stories, right? I think for me, it lets you know that you're not alone in your struggles, right? In your successes. There, you do have a tribe. There's a large group of people that have been where you've been or experienced what you've experienced, or maybe not, but you've experienced something that you can help. I think it's been a healing, a journey full of healing and full of taking things from our guests that we can apply to our own lives and get better, whether it's mental health stuff, whether it's physical well-being, or just having a beer with your buddy and telling some old war stories. I think it's too hard to lock down.
Yeah, that sounds good. Matt, you want to go?
I mean, yeah, you know, we're actually going into right now year number 4 going into it, right? So if we were to think about guests, and for me, just like, I mean, Al said a lot there that I agree with. You know, we've talked to so many people, who learned so many things, but for me to recount, you know, I like hearing the stories. You know, Luis Fonseca's story for me was one that I was like very impressed with. A young man that goes into the military, doesn't do things the right way, gets in trouble, knows he gets in trouble, but still, you know, through service is still like, I got a job to do and he's going to do it no matter what. That was pretty motivating for me. I like talking to Marvin Lockett. He was cool, just his perspective on things and how he kind of broke it down, and you could have like that conversation. And then Javon Mosby's another one that we've had on a couple times, that just talking to him and like hearing him explain things from his point of view so that you can understand it. So, you know, I think one of my favorite things is we have had a lot of people on that we may not have had the same opinion as them, but the way they explain it and they talk about it, you can actually discuss these things and you can learn about stuff. And so for me, I think that's been the coolest. I like hearing just all the stories, man, and just getting to know people. That's the fun part.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think if I had to say what my favorite was, probably all these people that I'm putting up here. So some of the names that y'all are talking about are popping up on there as well. So Kim though, but I have to say probably the 2 Sergeant Majors. Seeing Sergeant Major Till and Sergeant Major Preston on the show, you know, them kind of knowing all the sergeants majors that I had served under, and you know, you mentioned them by name and they're like, oh yeah, solid leader. You know, made you feel good, but like just hearing the experience from all the way back to Vietnam for Sergeant Major of the Army, and then the just straightforward badass knowledge that Preston just threw out all over us on the show. Man, that was really fun to see. But all these people that I've been putting on the previous episodes, these are a lot of my favorite people. So
yeah, I actually talked to Kim DeLorenzo today. Yeah,
how's she doing?
She's doing good, man. Like, she's been rolling around, you know, Tunnel for Towers right now. So, and we can even say it now, if anybody wants to support something that does amazing things, everybody should know, if they don't already know, that Tunnel to Towers, I mean, they support our veterans and first responders in so many different ways. The thing that they do that I like the most is, if they've got a first responder or veteran that pays the ultimate price and they're able to do it, they will pay the mortgage off for the family, right? That's a cost that you shouldn't have to worry about after, you know, now you got to try to figure this out on your own. But in talking with her, they're doing the Steel Across America tour, where they're taking World Trade Center steel to different places and they're setting it up and doing that. And, you know, they're growing a lot. They're doing scholarships now, but there's just she's all over the place, super busy, but still excited about everything that Tunnel for Towers does. So it was cool to talk to her today because I'm actually working with her and some others to put on the Battle of the Badge baseball game on September 11th this year for the Houston Fire and Police Department. So working through a lot of those details right now with the different parties. It's been fun. It's going to be an epic game. So I talked to her today. It was cool.
Worst guess, I would just go ahead and throw it out there. Anybody that's serving the fucking MP Corps, y'all suck. That shit's y'all's episodes, trash. All MP, trash. No, I'm just kidding.
I gotta say, man, listening to you guys kind of get through this guest impacted you guys or really affected you guys. I mean, like I'm hearing a lot of growth from the first episode that I did, right? Because I think I was officially the first guest, right?
Yep.
Man, like just hearing you guys, the cadence, the slowing down, the energy, and the eloquency that you guys are using in language, man, that is what is satisfying to me, right? I appreciate the guests that come on, but what I've used this podcast for is to really kind of keep an eye on you guys and kind of see your growth and progress. And, you know, Matt, you and I have talked privately. Ty and I talk privately all the time. Al, I think you've called me once or twice to talk about some stuff, right? And hearing that maturity, right? Like the fact that this is therapeutic and hearing other people's perspective and being able to open that dialogue, whether we agree or not. Some of the stuff that I was talking to Ty prior to being on air, what you guys are saying reminds me of a Trevor Noah podcast that he did with Brene Brown. And I guess I'll ask this question and open it up for you guys. So in this podcast, they were describing English soccer and the hooligans and how the crowds were fighting against each other just because somebody was wearing an opposing jersey, kind of like what we saw with the Knicks and Spurs in the New York subway, right? A couple days or a couple weeks ago. And so they said that what they noticed in England is that the players of opposing teams started hanging out together and started doing charity events so there was a lot of media coverage of them being together and getting along. And so they kind of came up with a hypothesis that if we had Republicans and Democrats, right, basically say, look, we don't see eye to eye politically, but we do have lunch every day, right? Like when we're in session, we go and have lunch, or hey, we go to have drinks, or we go to each other's houses for barbecues, and having those public opportunities to show more of a get alongness, if you will. Mm-hmm. So what do you guys think of that hypothesis? Given our current political environment?
I don't think it's going to change anything in America.
I think it would. I think if people could have educated, heartfelt, honest conversations and hear each other out, I think that's where the change is at. I mean, you've got to. I say it all the time. If the world acted a lot like we do in the military and then in the veteran community, where we do come together, we do find our tribe, and we do work out our differences, right? Whether it's over beers or a couple punches in a Connex box and call it a day, right? Keep it moving. I think we'd be better off as a whole. I mean, lack of communication is the problem. And then on the same accord, ignorant communication is the problem, right? The way you frame stuff, the way you say things, there's consequences for your verbiage, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I 100% agree. If people could sit down and have conversation and talk and show a united front, it would curb some of the divide that's going on in the country. 100%.
Yeah, I would say that's true. But the reason I don't agree with that is because no matter what, even if they said we eat lunch every day, we talk every day, we don't see it eye to eye, because where we live and how we see things nowadays, there's just always that opportunity for someone to take this much of it and make it look whichever way you want to. And because we are people that consume most of our stuff through social media and all of that nowadays, right? And even to the news for some part nowadays is getting into the short clip soundbite, right? And so it's it would be difficult to do that unless they like roll up C-SPAN during lunch and show them eating lunch through the entire C-SPAN, and you have to, you know what I mean, watch it. C-SPAN's boring as shit, so them eating lunch together and having a food fight would be better than some of the stuff you watch on there. But it would be difficult to do, because even though we think they're divided, I'm telling you now, there's Democrats and Republicans that are in government right now that get along and work on bills together. They pass stuff together. The problem is that they have to run for re-election, and their team is going to pay for their re-election, so they have to like jump out on the big things. You know, it's like everything has to be a big deal, so nothing's a big deal, kind of. You know, does that make sense? It, like, I'm sure there's a lot of people that get along. We'll never see it though, because that doesn't make us happy. We want to see people fighting and arguing and all that dumb shit. Like it's not beneficial or monetarily incentivized to show the good parts of everything. You have to show the argument and you have to show the bad. And that's what you're going to see, right? So that makes you go, oh, that's my guy, I'm going to roll with that. Or yeah, I agree with him, that's the best. But if you sat down with some of those people and if you got Berto in a room with them for 5 minutes and he got to go, okay, I heard you say that, but what does that really mean? And what do you think about that? Or how do you feel about that really? Or what would you do? I would venture to say you would get a much different answer talking to that person like we're talking right now versus them being in front of a camera. And so I feel like a lot of that stuff is for show too, right? It's clicks and votes. That's what they're going for. Oh, hold on now. Berto, you're muted.
You're muted.
I got you. Well, no, I don't. You have to do it. Ty's gone.
Ty exited stage left on us. He was like, I'm over.
What? Look at Berto trying to figure out how to use.
Yeah, you're good. Okay, we got you now.
All right.
Yeah.
So we got you, Berto.
I think overall, one of the problems that I see, and I see it a lot with veterans too, like this is not just a national politics thing. I wish people use accurate language to describe what's going on as opposed to exaggerated language. Mm-hmm. That's number one. Number two, I think we've lost a lot of decorum, right? Like, how do we act in another prime minister's presence, right? And how we address and all of that, man. We've lost that decorum or military or whatever you want to call it. And so I wondered also, like, how much do the fans or reporters take the exaggerated language seriously? Literally, that is what's happening.
Yeah, well, so that's the problem, is when you have all these people that all you're going to see is the soundbite they want you to hear to that point, right? Like the decorum and seeing how people act and seeing how they're talking about stuff, right? We're just in a world now because everything is so public and in front of you. Like what we're doing right now is public and in front of you. Our kids are going to see some of these episodes one day, be like, you guys were fucking garbage, and be like, well, we know that. That's fine, but we got better, right? Right. You know, but at the end of the day, if you're on that side and people are saying things just for whatever reason, man, you're going to hear what somebody says. And if you believe in them that much, you're going to take what they're saying very, very literal. And you're never going to go, okay, exactly what do you mean by that? Why don't we talk it out? Tell me what you mean. Like, what does that mean? Because like right now, think about this. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care what team you play for. But if you go up to someone for just pick a topic, we don't need to get into a specific topic, but then you go, okay, what do you believe? They're going to tell you. And then you go, why? And then that's when the silence starts. Because they can't tell you, and for the most part, this is my opinion, they can't tell you why they believe that way. They can only tell you what they saw on TikTok or what they saw on Instagram, or they can only repeat back to you what pick a news anchor is saying about it. But they don't like go research and review and read about it, right? Like there's no more of that because everything's on the computer. So if I saw it on the computer, it's got to be true. Whereas, you know, us old ass people, we had to go read dictionaries and shit. We didn't get to go just look it up right now. You know, there was a lot of having to go look at things. And since we don't do a lot of that anymore, people are forming their opinions on a lot of those issues the same way they form their opinions on what musician they like to listen to. They like the sound of the music. They like the way it sounds. But at the end of the day, if you were to ask them what the musician believes in or whatever, right? For the most part, they'd be like, I don't give a shit. I just like the music, right? So it's kind of that, kind of world to me. Is it just people don't know why they believe in things. They're just going to do it because maybe their friend does, and I can't not be their friend because they're the cool person or whatever. You know what I mean? It's all about being included and involved and feeling like you're on the right side of something, because look at how many people flip-flop too. Like all this stuff that goes into the news and blows up huge and big, 3 weeks later it's not as big, but then you have the same people that were against it 3 weeks ago are talking for it now because somebody else said it's for now. So that, like, nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's a shit show. How about that?
I think it's on a broader sense. I think also we've kind of lost our sense of community, right? Like Ty and I were talking about it, right? We're latchkey kids, right? We're born a year apart, but we're basically the same age. And like I recall, not being a problem, me jumping on my bike and riding 3-4 miles away from the house. No cell phones, no nothing, maybe $5 to go buy something at 7-Eleven or, you know what I mean? To like not be home. And the rule was don't come home until the streetlights are on. Right. And if it was Saturday or Sunday, cartoons are over, get the hell out, go.
Yeah, for sure.
So I wonder sometimes like that helicopter, that independence that a lot of us seek, right? Like one of the things that has changed a lot in this country is we are no longer a multi-generational home, right? Like back in the day, you had grandparents living with the parents because they couldn't afford a nursing home, right? And then you had the children there as well. And so there was kind of like built-in support for, childcare and, any kind of emergency kind of thing, right? Like not to be 100% dependent on them. And today what I see is we want bigger houses, bigger property. We want to be away from people, right? Where actually I remember getting my ass whooped by every mother on the block, right? And then by the time I got home,
permission to do it.
But
yeah. And they all had permission. You see him doing some bad shit, you go ahead and take care of it. Let me know, and he'll get it again when he gets home. Like, what?
Right. Exactly.
Double jeopardy. That's
and
bullshit.
If a dad was there, you might get your ass whooped by dad a third time.
Yeah, exactly. Right? No, and I mean that's true, Berto. But like, it's now everybody uses all of the. So think about it. Kids don't go do a lot of things like that anymore because the world is dangerous. That's what we all say, right? Newsflash to everybody that's out there: all the bad shit that happens in the world today has happened in the world even then. The problem is you read about it in the newspaper 3 weeks later, but we also in school back then were taught how to be kind of self-aware, right? Like, just be aware of your surroundings, go in places with others. Nowadays, you get bullied on social media and all these different things and get made fun of. And it's just like a different dynamic, man. I feel I don't know how I would grow up in today because that communication of face-to-face, I go to a lot of events. And there's a lot of people, even like business owners, that when they get into a room and you have to do networking, it's pretty hard for them. They can't like talk to you because you're looking at them in front of their face. It's a lot of the younger generation that does that because they've grown up. Like I joke sometimes, I'm like, should we all just put headsets on and sit at a table and then pretend like we're playing a video game, and then we'd probably have the best conversation ever because then you would be comfortable. It's like you've put yourself in that environment. But the whole talking to someone in person is like the hardest thing to do. And that was part of that community too. You had to talk to your neighbors walking down the street. If you walked down the street and didn't say hi to Miss Fight and Miss Hero and Miss Cobb when you were walking and you got home that night, you were going to hear about it because you're not going to be rude like that. You're going to interact with your neighbors. You're going to know who they are. That's where that community piece came in, right? Like it takes a tribe to raise a family, right?
Yeah.
Where's the tribe? Right now, the tribe is blue or red, or it's I'm over here or over there, and I believe this and you believe that. And in those tribes, they're not raising everybody up. They're all pushing towards whatever that thing is that they want to scream and yell about. You know what I mean? And it just doesn't, it's not equaling forward progress or being constructive. It's more,
right.
You need to believe this ideal, which we've always had the ideals as well.
Right.
But we were allowed to be who we were. And how many times you just hear when we were growing up, they would say, "Oh, it's Berto. Like, listen, he's a good kid. He probably isn't that smart, but he's a good kid. Leave him alone. Like, he's young, he's growing up." And so they would take that into account. Nowadays, man, you don't hear that shit no more, man. There is no benefit of the doubt. They just don't.
Right. Right. Yeah, that's a good take, dude. I appreciate that. Like, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about this because, like, when we moved to New Mexico, obviously, you know, we're living at Kirkland Air Force Base. And the first thing that my wife and I did after, like, the boxes were settled and inside the house, we went and knocked at both neighbors, right? Like, on both sides of the house. And we were like, hey, if you hear noise or you hear music, let us know. Like, you know, I'm hard of hearing, so I might have music way too loud. Just let me know, right? And we have a wonderful relationship. Like, my neighbor is very right. I'm more moderate, and that's okay, right? We learn how to communicate with each other. We learn how to meet our needs of, like, hey, a package was delivered at my house and it looks like it's yours. Oh, okay, thanks. You know, appreciate you. That kind of stuff. But not like the old days where you would bring an apple pie, you know, and say, hey, I'm the new neighbor.
Oh, because now they'd be like, what's in this pie? What would you do? What,
fentanyl. It's got fentanyl in it.
Yeah. But see, that's the thing, is that's the community you build. I remember when I went to Miami for recruiting, I was moving in. And her name's Karen Kripkala, probably coolest neighbor, one of the coolest neighbors we've had in the neighborhoods. This is a neighborhood that I loved Cole growing up in because kids played in the street. They played together. Families talked to each other. It was it felt like when I was growing up. I mean, she power slid the freaking minivan into the middle of the street, jumped out and was like, "Hi, I'm Karen. We're your neighbor. Welcome to the neighborhood." And I was like, holy shit, they're not even done unpacking the boxes, right? And I told Becky, like, I met our neighbor, and then it was like from there, it was like, anything you need, we got it. We'll take care of it. And it's just cool. And the thing about that, like, you kind of brought it up, Berto, but I don't think I've ever asked my neighbors how they feel about shit. Are you cool? I'm cool. Let's go. Like, we're not going to talk about what you believe and I believe. We're neighbors. If it comes up, great. But, like, there's a lot of that in the world today where people, it's almost like you got to let them know, like, don't judge me, but this is how I believe. So, like, believe however you want. I don't care. Like, it's fine. Yeah. Beer still tastes the same no matter what side we're on. And, you know, the movie starts at the same time, or, you know, whatever. Like, it's okay. Like, believe it or not, we can like the same movie and think different. You know what I mean? It's like, there's always that precursor to some of that stuff sometimes. And it's sad that you have to do that, but you do have to do it sometimes nowadays.
Right. So, like, did you get it? Yeah, you're good. So one of the things that you brought up, so actually figuring out, like, where he lands and where I land was very coincidental, because he started talking. He asked me what I did for a living, and I told him where I worked, and I asked him if he goes there, and he said no. And then he gave me a long explanation about being a Vietnam era veteran, and that he, you know, believes that the VA shouldn't exist, that we should all be employed and paying for our own private insurance, and da da da. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, that's your opinion. And just kept it moving, right? I had to figure out how to transition out of that and be like, oh, okay, I guess dinner's almost ready. Let us know if you need anything, and then went back home, right? And then I was like, wow, that was a interesting interaction that I was not expecting.
And
from
then
just
there's that too.
Hi, I'm your new neighbor.
Yeah. It's interesting, dude. It's interesting.
Yeah. But I will say, though, to your point, Matt, I think we as veterans tend to build rapport faster with people.
100%. Yep. Because we've done it. We did it in our career. I mean, me and Matt talk all the time. The military is the only place I've ever been where I can meet you on a Monday, and I'm at your house on a Saturday for a barbecue, playing with your kids. Like, it just comes naturally. Like, we're all from different places. We're all got our own stories, but we're all stuck together. Like, we are sucking it up together. Hey, let's unite as a common neighborhood of sucking it up, right? So it's a different world, right? I mean, and then it transitioned into the veteran community, where when you meet somebody, that's the conversations I'm having, right? My neighbor moved in across the street. I seen his airborne tag, started a conversation, helped him do a couple things. He and we just became friends. He's lived in the neighborhood 10 minutes, and I'm already close with him. Me and Garrett talk. We go have a beer. My other neighbors that aren't veterans, I'm like, yeah, fuck you guys. Like, you guys ain't shit. No, but it is. I think it's because we've moved around so much, and we've had to transition our lives and our families and our kids to multiple states, multiple countries, and done so many different things that it is easy for us to be able to see past your religious background, your political beliefs, your fucking ideology. We don't give a shit. At the end of the day, when you're sitting in a foxhole with somebody, you don't give a shit anything other than, you got my back, bro? I got your back, bro. We're good? All right, we're good. That's all you care about in that moment, right?
Yeah.
Or it's raining. We're out here on a ruck march or a PT session, and it fucking blows balls. But guess what? It sucks for you too. We're right here, hand in hand, getting it through it together. So I think it's just a different community, right? We operate at such a different level because we don't care. We don't care what you believe in. And I mean, we're past that. Like we're in situations where that shit doesn't matter today. It won't matter tomorrow when we're having a barbecue. Like, we'll probably clown each other over it. Like, we're the only people I think on the planet that can talk shit about religion, sexual orientation, fucking political beliefs, and clown each other about it and never get mad. Like, this motherfucker talking shit. So
right.
It's different.
Or they're talking sideways or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Sure. I will tell you though that on that point you just made out there of us being in, and you meet your neighbor in 10 minutes and then like you're all friends. You know, I went to a networking event this week with the guy Hal Fisher that's here in Houston that runs an organization called the Civi, and it was all veterans in the room. And a lot of those guys, when they came in, were like, "Oh my gosh, man! This is like the first time I've been to an event like this." But what Hal did to set it up, you know, when you go to networking events, you get like a guest speaker, so the command sergeant major stand up there telling you the word of the day, and you got to fucking pay attention and be quiet. And you're like, Jesus, dude, is this going to be over in 10 minutes? Because I don't want to listen to this. This one was like, walk in the room, go find somebody to talk to, and just get to know people. And so it was 2.5 hours of just all around the room. Oh, you were in the Navy or you were in the Marine Corps, whatever. And it was like, oh, what'd you do? Oh, was this? How many years did you do that? What do you do now? And all these people talking, and then you're like, oh, that's cool. And then it's like, when are we doing this again? Next week? Cool. Because now all these guys are in a room talking to people that speak their language and, you know, can tell the same jokes, right? I met a retired chief in there that actually ironically does real estate. And we were talking about like the job market. And he was like, I can't find a job. I'm like, well, no, I know, right? What the fuck's that all about? And he's doing real estate. I'm like, dude, just keep doing that. You know how to fucking make shit happen. Just do that. Like, don't worry about what's coming next, but just seeing where everybody's at and how they're going along. And then the different perspectives on how long someone did or didn't do, you know what I mean? And seeing what your viewpoints and all that are. And it was just like, we're all here to talk, hang out, have a good time, get to know each other. So if we started doing more of that, right, I think you would see a difference as well. Like, you could get into your community, right? We talk about in this podcast a lot. Like, when you get out, you have to find your purpose. And so some of your purpose is, are you involved in something? Are you leading something? Are you making a difference in something, right? And all of us on here have our struggles with that too. Wherever you live, start a veteran networking event. Advertise that shit and tell, if you're a veteran, we're going to be at this bar or this brewery or this restaurant, whatever. We're going to have a table. Come on in. If you're a veteran, sit down. We just want to hang out. Watch how many people show up, especially people that are like, I've been looking to hang out with, you know what I mean? And you could build something there, right? Start your own fucking He-Man woman hater, get off my fucking grass club or something. You know what I'm saying? For whatever you want to do. But the problem is, once we get out, and we talked about this the other day in this networking event with a couple guys. The problem is that there's nobody telling you where to be anymore. There's nobody telling you that this needs to be done anymore. You know, like when you think about the machine of the military, right? We were all good and we were great leaders there because there was already a foundation there, right? Talk about this with a lot of guys that I've met that are like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to start my own thing or what I want to do. And I'm like, bro, you just got to fucking do it, man. Like, just do it. Like, there's not a good time, whatever. But I've started to notice we're all kind of like trigger shy on pulling the trigger on new things because we have to figure it out and go, how is this going to work now? Like, who can I go talk to that's done this before? And you find out in the business sense, right? No one's probably going to give you all the secrets, but we already had all the secrets in the military. It was already proven. It was there. The tracker was there. All you had to do was get in line and keep rolling with it. And so when you don't have that, that's why people get nervous and afraid and all that stuff. But being in that room the other day, all the veterans, and they're like, oh, you have this problem? Well, you could do it like this. And you started to see that veteran network again. Oh, do this. That'll change it. Oh, you haven't tried that before? Oh, I know a guy you should talk to. And then, dude, it was like 800 ties in there. Everybody was Kevin Bacon. They were connecting with something else, and they were putting you over into the stream. I was just like, man, this is the shit, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. Ty and I were joking, or I forget what we were talking about specifically, and he goes, I just don't want anybody to tell me what to do. And my response was, even as an E7, you had somebody to tell you what the fuck to do every single day that you were in the military, right? And it's so interesting to me how much we reject that that structure. But then when we don't have that structure, we crave that structure, right? We feel almost immobile because we don't have to be at PT at 6:30 in the morning. We don't have to be at work call at 9 o'clock in the morning, or whatever times. And then on top of that, we start losing that community, right? Like that's the biggest thing that I hear as a clinician, is that most people just feel lost, right? They don't have that direction, and they don't have that community, that support, right? Those boys are going to be like, yo, you want to do that? Let's go do that. Let's make it happen, right? Like you were describing, Matt, at that event.
Yeah, it was cool because it was, oh, you need to figure that out. Come on, or call me next week. We'll get together. The guys that completely different industries. They don't do the same shit. But the guy's like, I think I can help you. Call me next week. We'll do it. And the excitement and the guy to be like, oh my God, like this guy understands what I'm saying, or whatever, right? Like we can go make that happen. And again, you're in two different places. And then it made me think too, like, think about when we were in, in the CBs, for example, I was EO, but everybody would come talk to the EOs because we controlled the keys to the equipment. So if you needed to drive something, they were coming to talk to us, you know what I mean? But if we needed to go build, whatever, like if we needed materials, we made really good friends with the supply guys, right? Like you knew the people to go talk to. We were all in different jobs in different sectors, had different bosses, but we always found a way to work together to go get what benefited us most at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, baby.
And that's what I saw there, is like, oh, this could help me get unstuck. And now here's the other key. You're talking to someone that may be able to help you with your problem that doesn't work at the job you're at. And as a veteran working in a civilian company, a lot of times you don't want to go ask a question, right? Not because you're afraid they're going to think you're dumb, but now it's going to be like, oh, see, this is why we shouldn't have brought whatever, right? He doesn't know what's going on. You're more afraid to be wrong when you get out than in, because in, to Al's point, they'd be like, you dumb motherfucker. And then they would tell you and you're like, oh, okay, I'll go do it. And you're like, no big deal. Yeah, I'm dumb, whatever. But I got the answer. Outside that, there's just like this perception, dude. Like, I don't even want to ask, because if I ask,
they were going to clown you, but they had your back and they were going to help you get it
for
done.
sure.
Like it's a different atmosphere.
You feel like it's going to be held against you if you ask that question. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not that they're going to, but you just have that. It's like going to medical. I'm not going to medical, and I'm not asking a question in the civilian world. You know what I mean? I'm just not doing it.
Well, it's funny. Like that reminds me of not the best example of good leadership, but it definitely corrected the problem, right? So we had this young, very shielded, I think he was an E2 or E3, and working with the MPs, you get BAS, even if you live in the barracks, because, you could be working whatever shift. And so he comes up to us, or me, because I was in the barracks, on payday Friday, and then tells me, hey, man, I don't have any money to go eat breakfast tomorrow. And I'm like, wait, what? We just got paid. And he goes, oh, yeah, I bought a 50-inch TV. I bought an Xbox. I bought 5 games. I bought 3 controllers and a steering wheel and all this shit. And I have no money. And I went to the chow hall and they told me they couldn't feed me. Well, yeah, because you get BAS, right? And so what did we do? Not great. But we made him grab his PC cap and go knock at every door in the barracks and ask for 10 cents so that he could go buy ramen. And that joker went and bought like 30 bags of ramen. And the next paycheck, joker had food. Right?
Yeah.
Not
you
a great
learned the
thing.
lesson though, right?
He had to learn that there were consequences, right? And part of that was he didn't ask. Like he didn't and like I'm like, wow, dude, like you didn't see that extra 300 or whatever it was at the time, right?
Nah, man, the government pays me and I just go spend the shit. I don't know what it's for. You know what I mean? Whatever. But when you became like an NCO, like at the E5 level, if you had like 10 extra dollars in that check, you was like, wait a minute, where'd that come from?
Yeah,
Hey,
you was worried.
put that
They
shit
gonna
in
come-
another bank account because they're
They
gonna take it
that
back.
back. Yeah, yeah. If you had, I never forget it. I talked to my wife when we were in Iraq, and she was like, something's wrong with our check. I was like, what are you talking about? She said, it's big. I'm like, what are you talking about? And I was getting hazard duty pay and all these extra pays. And she was like, I moved it over because I was just worried that next payday they're gonna take that. I said, no, that's our shit. That's our shit right now. We good. But she was like, Matt, we moving this to the savings account because we know when the government owes you money, that should take a year to get it. If you owe them money, they taking that shit out. Like we know,
like,
we
damn,
know
my
how
check
this
is
works.
short. And then you would go talk to admin and they'd be like, well, they paid you this much money last payday. And that was an oversight.
Yeah, don't get an overpayment.
That was an oversight. And, they had to take that back. You're like, y'all weren't going to tell nobody.
Oh,
no,
and
they
will.
just take it back.
If you don't talk to somebody, they'll get it one lump sum. Your ass will get a zero paycheck. Like it'll be like $0. Like you're like, damn.
Craziness.
Ty Woodring would have grown hair and it would have curled. Good Lord. Okay. Got you, Bob. Appreciate you, man. But I want to play a video real quick to show why I think I'm so proud of America. I know, I didn't answer your question. It was about this all started with like everybody bickering at each other and
the British soccer.
Yeah, the mobs beating each other up. Well, I've seen people like Matt Johnson and Al Hero go through a lot of stuff, and I get entrenched in everybody's lives that I come in contact with. I know my entire cul-de-sac for the most part. Recently I forgot a document to get on a cruise with my family, and I had people stacked at the door ready to come, get into my stuff, and I was gonna show them where the key was and everything. So I love America because of a speech that I heard a long time ago, but it's been making its rounds because of America's 50th. I want to play it for y'all real quick, and then we'll see what y'all think.
You can go to live in France, but you cannot become a Frenchman. You can go to live in Germany or Turkey or Japan, but you cannot become a German, a Turk, or Japanese. But anyone from any corner of the earth can come to live in America and become an American.
Now, there's as far as like legislature that has changed since I guess that speech came. Some of these countries, they do allow you to become a citizen of their country. But so the profoundness that I believe in this statement is that I was born in Corbin, Kentucky, was moved out of Corbin, Kentucky after moving around so many times with a Vietnam era Marine Corps stepfather raising me, and then moving me to Jacksonville, Florida. I experienced that culture, went to high school there, did a lot of fun stuff. After high school, had an amazing experience, went to college, then decided to join the Army in '98. Served my country until 2017, and then it was a really difficult thing for me to slow down, right, and not just still be Ty from the Army. So we were talking about like the things we surround ourselves with, but you can see like in the background here with Al, the people that, with Berto, you can see the people that have influenced me over the years. And, I'm integrated and truly sentimental about my family. And so I'm proud. I'm proud to have all sorts of different races and cultures and backgrounds and citizenships. And, my family's been amazing. So, okay. So what do y'all think about that video?
Well, I think about the World Cup right now. When you watch that video, right, then you hear it, like anybody can come from anywhere being American, but you can't just automatically go be in one of those other countries. I hear it because, my family loves TikTok and they watch, but all the Europeans that are coming over here for the World Cup and from all these other countries, the overwhelming thing you're hearing every one of them say is America is fucking awesome. It's awesome. The food is great. The people are nice. The culture is amazing. Everyone's saying hello. We're going around to these things. They can't believe that Buc-ee's has 8,000 gas pumps. They're like, what the fuck? They look at like one slab of ribs they buy and they're like, Jesus Christ, that's food for like 3 weeks for my family and wherever they're from, right? And the way that we live. And they're like, this place is great. And I've heard of a lot of them, like, I can't believe we're being told something different where we live. Now we're here, right? We're here. And all we're seeing is how great this place is. Like, it is a completely different place than what we see on TV where we're at, right? And so I think it's that thing of like, I hope this happens, but you see that shift because now the opinion, because the World Cup is here and you have the world here, they're like, oh, those dudes aren't that fucking bad. They're actually pretty good. Like, yeah, we're not all dipshits doing bad things, right? Like, just go anywhere in any of these cities and states and you're going to see America is the place where you can come from anywhere and you can become an American. It is proven no matter where you go in this country, right? So I think it's good to see that. I'm happy that you're hearing those things, you know, and there's all these guys documenting their trip through America and showing all the stuff that they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like, during the World Cup, I think you're seeing the best of what America has to offer through their eyes. I hope that a lot of the people that are here that complain about some things see what these other people can see in their eyes on these social media channels and kind of rethink what they're looking at and kind of what they're saying, kind of to that point, Berto, right? Of like, where are we at? Maybe you should see what all these other people from other countries are saying about what they have here and what they're seeing. And hopefully that starts to change people's opinion a bit. Maybe they look at things a little bit differently, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'll speak for myself. Like, I immigrated to this country at 5, right? Like in 1980, and here I am. Served 7.5 years. Did what I was supposed to do. Now I'm a professional, and I help veterans, which is ultimately what I wanted to do. Thanks to one of our old lieutenants who asked me straight up, "What do you miss about the military?" Right? Even before I went to college, or even before I had an idea of what I was going to do, he straight up asked me, "What do you miss?" And I said, "I miss coaching and training soldiers to get to where they need to be, right? Where they want to be, not where I want them to be, where they want to be." And, I hopefully I continue to do that, but I am very grateful for the opportunities that this country as a whole has provided for me, right? I have beef like most people, right? Not everything's 100% the way it should be, or the way that I see that it should be. But that is the beauty of this country, right? Me and Ty have had disagreements, right, on Israel's role in what's going on in the world today, right? Not what was happening in the 80s, what was happening in the 90s, but what's happening today, and the influence that these countries have, right? And I think the example that you're bringing up with all this social media and TikTok stuff, I think it's demonstrating that it is people in power that are being portrayed as extremists, both in the media and by allegations of each other, right? What we're seeing is, I think, the beautiful power of social media, which is we're starting to see that positivity. Like, oh my God, ribs, this is amazing. Ranch, oh my God, we need to make it in England, right? Like all of those things. And that makes me feel wonderful, right? Like, coming to Ty asked me, "Hey, you're coming down for a couple of days. What do you want to do?" I'm like, the first thing I need to do is we need to get barbecue. Period.
Yeah, boy.
Right?
Did you guys get barbecue yet?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Shout out to us in Tomball, Texas.
There you go.
That place is good, but if you guys aren't busy tomorrow, we need to go to Truth Barbecue in the Heights.
Oh man, he's leaving at like 5 in the morning. When are you leaving?
It doesn't matter. We can figure it out.
Hey,
yeah, if it's good barbecue, I could leave later. I'm just saying, bro.
Hey,
I didn't get the 210 by not eating barbecue.
hey, I'll miss my flight for some Texas barbecue. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna miss that flight. We're gonna reschedule that one.
If not, Berto, me and Ty will go eat there. We'll take a whole bunch of videos and send it to you.
Throw it on there for you.
Buy a little, what was the 6-pack igloo, right? And then
yeah.
and just mail it to me.
Yeah, there you go. Freeze dry that shit.
Hey, man.
It'll be good.
Hey, John Turner at the chopping block. He ships stuff all over the United States, and Dustin Stanley at the barbecue store does the same thing. They do wonderful stuff for barbecue. So if you need some barbecue products, doggone it, barbecue store in Waller County, and then
Hempstead,
excuse me, and then John
which
Tierney,
is Waller County.
yeah, with the chopping block in Webster, and I forget the other one, John Tierney. Better known business, by the way, John Tierney. Shout out.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's cool, man. All these, like, think about this. I should have paid attention more because I should have, I don't even know if they were here, but dude, to be in Boston with the Scots, was it Boston that the Scottish guys were in and drank Boston out of beer? Did you guys hear about that?
Yes.
Bro.
Yeah.
Sam Adams Brewery's down the street and they didn't have any, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They were talking about England fans were in Dallas at a bar, a London bar, and obviously the bar was over the capacity that it says it should be for the code, right? So like they called and the bar said everybody had to leave, right? They had to close because it was a violation or whatever, right? Because it was way so many people. If there was a fire, people would have got jacked up. And so the people at the bar was like, yeah, but these guys just ran up a $40,000 tab. I was like, damn. And they made them leave. They're like, oh, they didn't want them to leave. But here's what's crazy. If they would have told us we had to leave, what would he have done? We would have got up, got in our car, and rolled the fuck out, right? Mad as shit, and found another bar. You know what these dudes did? They walked inside the bar and said, do you guys have any trash bags? They're like, for what? Like, we just made a mess outside. We're going to clean it up. I'm like, shit. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't do that. We're like, that's their job. They get paid to do that. So, I mean, it's like the things that they do because it's customary to them over here. Like, we're even like, wait, what? You're going to pick up your trash? Like, I heard about some Japan fans or South Korea fans. Can't remember what it was. They were cleaning up the aisles in the stadium after the game because, like, oh, we can't leave any trash. I was like, nah,
well,
they're leaving the nachos, all that shit on the ground.
Well, in Japanese culture, you take your trash with you. There's
that's what I'm saying. They were like
street
putting it in bags and rolling up.
You created the trash. It's your responsibility to get rid of it.
Yeah.
So they take it home, right? Like, and they throw it out as part of the regular trash.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But it's cool. Like, isn't it cool to see all that? You know what I mean? It's like it's all coming together. And my son was showing me TikTok videos of the South Korean fans in Mexico City. They had a bottle of tequila to go to the stadium, and they were like, you can't get in with this. And they were like, and they didn't speak the language. So they finally figured out, like, they can't walk in with the bottle. So they turned around like, you guys basically want to drink it? The Mexican dudes were like, fuck yeah, we want to drink it. So they're all slamming shots. And again, like, when you see that stuff, that's what Al was just talking about. I bet you him and his neighbor were in the freaking garage drinking beers the first day. It's like, let's just hang out and talk. And that's what you're seeing. But sport does that, right? Sports do that. They bring people together. Like, it's fucking cool to see, man.
Yeah, I've enjoyed watching the games. I check on all the teams. Like, I'm looking forward to, I think Iran's playing Egypt tomorrow, and I know the USA game starts at 9:00 tonight. I don't know if that's
I'm a horrible, horrible American. I haven't watched a single game.
Oh man, I love it.
Well, where I go, they serve beer and the game's on TV.
I just haven't.
By nature.
I just haven't. I've been stuck in this hole where I'm at living right now, like away from the world. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, but it's also cool too. Like, all these fans are in the stadium, and you got a team that's getting their ass kicked by 4 goals or whatever, right? They're getting beat, but they're still singing songs. They're still chanting. They're still cheering their team, and they're just happy to be there. And everybody's like, what's going on? I'm like, dude, you guys got to go to a European soccer game. Like, your team could be the worst one on the planet, right? But you're still going to go there and cheer because it's to your point, Berto, for like being in England, this is our city's team. So if you're going to come in here from the other city, that means we don't like you because you're not from this city. And that's why they fight, because they're like, oh, you're not from here. You shouldn't be here. You know, it's all about, and they also carry grudges too, right? If you go back and look at soccer or football, like those European teams in England, dude, remember in the 32 game, this guy did, like, they can't let it go. They're like, it's like Mets and Yankees fans. It's a fight. It's going to be a fight.
Or Cubs and Sox.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's, are you a South Side or a North Side guy? You have to know, so
right.
It's good shit, dude.
Yeah, no, I think like you're saying, right? Like the way that they cheer and support their teams is so different than what what our fandom has evolved over the years, right? And like Al, I'm not necessarily not watching the World Cup on purpose, but I will say the women's team has won more World Cups than the men's team.
It sure has.
History, right? And so
the balls are smaller.
Sure.
The balls are smaller. The goals are bigger. That's what it is.
That's when
I'm just kidding.
That's when you were on the field.
I'm just saying the goals are bigger
Exactly.
and the balls are smaller.
Right. So
we're not as athletic. It's different. Different competition.
I'm not trying to throw shade to the men's team. I think
just
they're
kidding.
doing wonderful. I'm very impressed that they won the first 2 games, right? Like that was amazing to see. But I also, when we're recognizing the men's team, we also need to recognize the women's team and their feats and the things that they have done and not gotten the recognition nor the financial compensation from the U.S. Soccer Federation that the men's team.
We'll figure that out the next World Cup, Berto. You know, right now it's the men's World Cup. But here's the thing: I went to that networking event. It was yesterday. So we walk in to this place and we asked the people at the front desk. We said, "Hey," because everybody in this bitch was wearing Brazil jerseys, right?
Okay.
I was like, is this where this thing is at? Like he made an event. We're not going to get in. They had security guards at the front, the whole fucking 9. So we go to the thing and the girl goes, yeah, it's here. So we went to go walk to the front door to walk. She goes, no. We're going this way. Like we had to go around the back way to get in. And when we walked into this place, dude, it was jam-packed with Brazilian fans watching Brazil play the game. And we got there right as Brazil scored the first goal. Dude, it was deafening. Like they were cheering and dancing. We were leaving. They had some dude singing songs. And I don't even know if he was hired to sing, but he was singing. It was like Al singing karaoke at the VFW.
By myself in the background.
But everybody was jumping to it.
Bar.
I was like, this is a party. And that's the thing that I remember going overseas too, is when you go to those other countries, they like to hang out with each other and have a good time. It was a party, dude. I was like, we might want to stay here for a minute. You got a Brazil jersey I could use real quick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The only rapping country singer.
I'm amazed you don't have a recording contract.
There just happened to be a microphone, and we were like, fuck it, dude. Let's go in. That was a lot of, we drank a lot that night.
I guess the combo guy didn't shut the mic off fast enough.
Ty was in it.
Oh,
too.
no,
He was
turned it up.
Oh man, yeah, we had fun that night. That was a lot of fun. So Bob wants us to ask a question here, and I'll answer this if you guys.
Oh, I will too.
Does it upset anyone to see people dissing our 250th birthday?
So I'll say it, Bob. I'll be honest with you. I really don't give a fuck. You know why? Because I'm at a stage in my life where I'm not letting the little petty shit get to me, bro. If you let everything that's on the news and ignorant people get to you, then you're pretty much stooping down to their level. If you're going to be ignorant and diss our country and hate this country, there's planes that leave here every fucking day. You're more than welcome to hop on one and get the fuck out of here. But at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me because, and it shouldn't bother you, bro, because this is the greatest country in the world, and we all fought to protect the Constitution of the United States of America, and everybody has a right to their own opinion and a right to free speech. So let them have it. Fuck it. It ain't changing the price of tea in China. And it's nothing against China, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, don't let that little petty shit bother you, bro, because you'll just run yourself ragged worrying about what everybody else is saying and what negative shit. Don't surround yourself with negativity, bro. Try to be positive. And fuck them. If they don't like it, fuck them. That's their opinion. Keep it. More people love it than they hate it. So fuck you if you don't like it here. I mean, at the end of the day, not going to get my panties in a bunch over because it doesn't. If I let it affect me, then it affects my family and it affects everything around me. And then I get wrapped up in this whole. That's why I got off social media originally, because then I get wrapped up in all this political bullshit and all these fucking ignorant ass motherfuckers. I don't have time for it, and you shouldn't either, bro. Don't let it bother you. Who cares? Who cares what they think? They ain't shit.
Bob, I live in Texas, and I haven't seen anybody dissing America's 250th birthday. Texans love America for the most part, at least the people that I see. And I don't watch TV enough to see that, to be honest with you. I haven't seen.
I mean, No, I think he's
But-
talking about like there are people who are going on social media and bashing America and talking
Oh,
shit.
there you go. I don't scroll on any of that.
At the end of the day, fuck him if you can't take a joke.
I mean, to
You
his
know?
point, it's disappointing. It is disappointing, but Bob, you got to remember, dude, like the reason they're allowed to do that is because of what you and the four of us on here did. So they're entitled to their opinion. They can talk shit if they want to, but the moment something bad happens, they're going to want the people that protect the country to protect them again. A lot of people don't, they just don't realize it. Again, that's why I brought up the soccer thing right now. All these people that are from another country that are seeing how we live and the things that we're able to do, they're just like, what the? Like, they're not going to want to leave, bro. Right. Why would they want to, leave to go back to that? Because they see the things that can, be done here and what we have. And a medium fucking soda at Whataburger's a 3X in England. You know what I mean? Like, it's just it's a difference. But, to everybody that wants to hate on it, you're welcome.
Land of opportunities, baby.
Yeah, you go ahead, say whatever you want. It's fine.
I will, damn it. No, I agree with Al, right? Like we did, maybe we didn't intend it when we donned the uniform for the first time, but it is one of those things that when we don that uniform, we are affording you the rights that the Constitution affords you, 100%. Right? And one of those is you can cuss me the fuck out and have 100% different opinion on any topic at any given time. One of our commanders from my first deployment, Captain Otto, rest in peace, he told us, if you get protested at the airport on our return flight, you are only allowed to say you're welcome.
Yep.
Because of what I just got back doing, you have the right to tell me that I'm a piece of shit. Cool. And keep it moving. Right? Because that person's opinion does not define who I am or who the unit was or what the unit did. We define that.
Yeah.
Right. And I know for the vast majority, we tried to do good in the world. We genuinely did. Was it sometimes not successful in the sense that it wasn't sustainable? Sure. Right. But we learn from those mistakes and then we try to drive and continue and try to improve. And so to both of your points, right? Everybody in this country, that's the beauty of this country. We can have differing opinions. I think that the decorum is where we're kind of lacking. And so I sometimes wonder, is it social media? Is it COVID, right? And teleworking and kind of being in our own little homestead, right? That kind of started isolating us. I don't know. I don't have the answer. But I do think that we need to start treating people with respect more. Just simple respect.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good point, but schools too, right? Like how much are you taught in school about stuff like that? Like, yeah, you go to history class, like one of the things in Texas that, is different than I guess other places, right? Texas teaches Texas history on top of US history, right? They're just two different ones. It's something unique to, I know in other places they don't do that, but you don't get taught
Florida
a lot of
does
stuff.
it. I think Georgia, Mississippi,
Yeah,
there are some
but they don't teach you history, right? You're not talking about World War II. You're not talking about the Vietnam War. You're not talking about those things because the ideals now is like we can't talk about the past, especially those pasts, because those pasts are so bad and they're so throw whatever word you want into it that we're not going to teach anybody about that. You know what I mean? But I remember growing up living in Germany as a military brat. We went to East Germany. And when we went into East Germany, passport, East German troop train, get on, you go in. And I remember we were touring Berlin, the east side of Berlin. And when we were in there, you could still see the bullet holes in the buildings, right? And then when you're taking those tours and after the wall falls, right, and we're there talking, the people in Germany are like, why we leave the bullet holes there? So we know what it could be like if that shit happens again. Like, we're not going to take that away and say, hey, we forgot and just kind of patch it up and be like, it's not there. No, that happened because something happened. And that's kind of the same thing, like I don't agree with how people are treated and things that have been done in the past. But at the same time, I didn't live in that past. I wasn't a part of that. But seeing all those things for whatever the event was, it reminds you of what that event is. And you should see that as the lesson it should teach you and not that we're celebrating it, right? A lot of those monuments and memorials are there to teach you about something in history, right? Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter. But you taking those things away or not teaching it in school doesn't make it not ever happen. It just means it's got a higher likelihood of happening again, right? Because remember, history repeats itself. And if you don't learn from history, you're gonna repeat it again. And that's what I see with it a lot, especially how we're afraid to let people know the bad shit that happened. Like, it's okay. Let them know. Talk about it.
No, Doc was talking about the Alamo. I was going to ask that, like Texas history, Alamo was, I want to hear about that because that's when Berto's people fucked up Matthew's people. And it's awesome. Let's teach that shit. Berto's people beating on Matt's people at the Alamo.
No, I'm further south.
I'm just kidding.
No, I see what you're saying, Matt. And I'm also reminded that to the victor goes not only the spoils, but the stories of how.
Yeah. The winner writes the history book.
Right. And so, I think there should be, a balance, right? Like, I will tell you, one of the most impactful things that I've gotten to see, there's actually two things. First, I went to the auction block in Alexandria, Virginia, right off of the Potomac. And that was so moving and so powerful to witness where human beings were being auctioned off with no autonomy, no agency, nothing, right?
Yeah.
And then I had the opportunity to go to Andrew Jackson's house in Tennessee, and I got to see the slave quarters. They still have the slave quarters up, and I mean, there was like 30 people in about a 10 by 15 room. You know what I mean? Like
it's horrible.
Right. It's horrible. And I do agree. Like, I don't want to see that building torn down. I think it's unfortunate that those things happen, but I also think we need to go there and experience it and see the things that these people potentially experienced so that we become better humans, so that we don't hopefully ever treat another human being the way they were treated.
Yeah, I mean, think about when you're growing up. How do you learn how to treat people the right way or have respect with your elders or do any of that, right? Like, your parents and your siblings and people before you made those mistakes so they can teach you what mistakes not to make, right? I just feel like nowadays we don't want anyone to make a mistake. So we're going to tell you the right way to do it all the time. Make sure you do it the right way all the time. And so then when you get out into the world on your own, you're just like, what the fuck? I just did it the way that I've always done it. But like, you've never had an opportunity to fail, make a mistake, or do something wrong. And it's okay to do that. But we call those in the military teaching moments all the time. Like, people did some dumb shit. We're like, okay, this is a teaching moment. Like, what'd you do wrong? That's right. You turn the saw on with the blade by your hand. Not a good idea. You might want to turn it the other way next time. We're just lucky you still have your fingers, right? But it's a funny example, but you know what I mean.
Full license for that lawnmower.
Yeah. But it's like learn from those things. It's okay.
Right.
And that's where your kids, honestly, Berto, when you're talking about that, if you take your kids there and they're like, what is this? And you're like, well, this is this. And that happened. And, kids could teach us the best thing about what it means to get along ever.
Mm-hmm.
When have you ever seen a little kid give a shit about anything but, man, they're out there playing on that slide. I want to get on the slide too. Hey guys, can I get on the slide? Fuck yeah. Right. And then they're all on the slide playing and nobody cares. But when you tell them what happened there, kids are awesome too, because they're like, well, that's horrible. Whoever did that, they should have probably beat them up. I'm like, well, yeah, they should have. But the lesson is you should never treat people that way. This is not what it is, right? Remember, when you go home, what our house and neighborhood looks like, that's what we're working towards. That's what we want it to be,
Right. I wonder too, like, how much not playing in playgrounds, right? Like, that's where I learned boundaries, right? Yeah. Oh, we're on the monkey bars or whatever, right? And I'm gonna grab my legs and wrap them around you and try to pull you down. Oh, that hurt. You're crying. Oh, my bad. I guess I went over that line.
Nowadays, right? Somebody's parents gonna say that I'm gonna sue you. You know what I mean? Like, come on, dude. Rub some dirt on it and go play some more. You know what I mean?
Well, again, I think it's, instead of children being told how to do things, they also need to figure it out, right?
Yeah, we learned how to work through it, right? I'm just not gonna play with Berto no more. He's an asshole in the monkey bars.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He stole my Hot Wheels, man.
But then as a kid, you'd walk up and be like, "What's wrong with you?" Right? You're like we're not playing on the playground. Like, what's wrong? And they would tell you, like,
Right.
well, you pulled me off the monkey bars, and then you're like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Right.
I won't do it again. And it's almost like I didn't know that bothered you, but I still want to play Legos, right? And then boom, they're happy again because they worked it the fuck out. Now it's like,
Bob, I'm not allowed
we-
within 50 feet of a playground. Just want to throw that out there.
There was that one time at
Yeah,
a
I'm not
tequila
allowed.
store.
Apparently, if you urinate in public, they put you on this registry. I don't really know, but I'm not allowed near a playground or a school or a church or any of that stuff. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Or is it because it's going to burn down?
The church doors, the water, holy water starts boiling, the doors get to shaking. I get it. I'm with you.
Yeah, this sounds grim right here. I it doesn't bother me when people get mad about America because I feel like I know America's history so well. I know that when we were a young nation, we did things that were atrocious, and hopefully we've corrected that. And I know I was born in 1975, and the shit I've tried to put forth into this world since 1975, man, people I've come in contact with makes me very proud to be from America. Like I've met all sorts of different people from Kentucky to Florida, joining the Army, going all around the world, serving with people in the military, which is in and of itself like a United Nations of people. And you just learn to get shit done. And so for that reason, you know, we're having a, I love America, and it doesn't matter who gets mad or says what. I'll try to listen to their point of view because I can understand some people's anger. You know, some people don't want to, do black people want to celebrate the 4th of July? We've got a future guest named Dwayne Wagner Sr. that asked that question on his social media. He was a very senior military police. He's going to be a future guest. Sorry, guys. But yeah, MPs. But we're not going to talk about MP shit. We're going to talk just spits knowledge, and he kind of gives you the juxtaposition opinion, and a lot of things he says make sense. But because of the people that I know and how Matt drives, like it doesn't matter what you want to do. Matt's driving forward, and Al, you're all heart, man, all loyalty, and yeah, we're just a cross section of the dichotomy of America, and I'm proud of it for how my life has been experienced since 1975, and because I know the history of our nation, man, I can just listen to anybody bitch and be like, yes, but
Right,
yes, and
yes, and but listen to this.
Yeah.
No, the reason I said that to you, Ty, is because one of the things that I have noticed and been taught in my training is that when we say but, when somebody says something and we're trying to respond, we are actually telling you, I don't give a shit what you just said.
Exactly.
But listen to what I'm saying.
The best setup word ever. But
no, and right. So Matt, we shouldn't take things out of the history books, blah, 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 blah. And we need to show both sides of the coin. Right?
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? And so it just lands different, right? And well, here's a relationship tip: stop using "but" with your spouses or your significant others.
Whoa!
Don't
say that live.
Don't use the word. Just touch it.
So I forgot, man. I gotta get you some crayons, dude. I'm talking about the one, not the one.
Oh, not the split crack. Okay.
Right.
You was just confused, Al?
I was confused. He started talking about butts. I'm from the Navy. I got excited. Like he was like, all I heard was butt. Everything else was.
And then the truth comes out.
Blur after that. I was like, oh, we get deep. Anyway,
truth comes out, and then you start talking about going deep. That is so disgusting.
Yes, sir. Well, I mean, as deep as I can get. It ain't
Berto, the floor is yours.
Yeah.
No, all I was saying, like, just instead when you have a response, just use "and." Right? Two opinions can be different, right? And I still to this day believe that the institution of marriage is a team, and there is not one person who's going to make a decision. It's a team that needs to make the decision, and both need to be on the same page. And when you say "but," you're basically neglecting everything that person said. So, hey, we need to save money and we need a new car. Okay, well, let's figure that out, right? And we don't have the money. right? Instead of saying, but we don't have the money. Does that make sense? It lands.
I use and, but it's
It's
more
an
like,
implied goal and a
right.
get that shit ready.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to save money, and you're stupid.
I think it depends on
You know what I mean? That's
how intense I want the conversation
Right,
to be and whether
right.
I'm going to use and or but. You know what I'm saying? If I'm feeling, you know, a little excitable, I'm going to use but. But if I want to be, you know, teamwork-esque, I'll use and. There you go. I think it just depends on how much I want to get yelled at.
Well, look,
That's
I
what
love
I'm
you
saying.
guys. I got to go.
Hold on. Let me play this video for you. Next week, Matt's not going to be here, so we're going to talk about America a little bit more. But before you go, I want to show one of the guest hosts for next week.
What's going on, people? This is Dusty Rudd. Join me next Thursday, July 2nd, as I'll be stepping in for Matt Johnson, who unfortunately has a prior engagement in whatever entrepreneurial fever dream he's currently pursuing, and making a highly anticipated, quite possibly next door app-worthy appearance on the podcast to celebrate America's 250th birthday. As a guy who proudly puts the tism in patriotism, I'll be bringing enthusiasm, unnecessary over-explaining, and enough 4th of July energy to concern my neighbors. We'll talk about freedom, veterans, grilling meat for no reason, and why every American secretly thinks they can survive a zombie apocalypse. This is, after all, a country where a guy named Randy can tow a jet ski with a Nissan Altima held together by nothing but hope and a ratchet strap, and where someone can strap fireworks to a lawn chair and call it engineering. Some people call it chaos. I like to call it Florida. Anyways, see you next Thursday, and God bless America.
Dang, he just described Al's whole vacation home, dude.
Bro, that was fucking awesome.
So
No,
I
I
just
gotta-
want to point out that
That's
there's
awesome.
there's a baby carriage or a baby seat behind him.
Yeah,
He's filming the video,
and he's driving.
Love it.
He
In
must
Florida.
be in a Tesla. That's some of that self-drive stuff.
He's in
All right,
Florida.
we're
I
gonna
don't know.
ask.
They had a Tesla self-drive into a house in Cinco Ranch.
Well, I'm in my daughter's room for this show, so I'm gonna have to exit because she's got to shower and use the bedroom and take a bath and all that other shit. So I'm gonna have to fucking leave. So
Love ya, hero.
I'm getting excommunicated out of my space.
Word.
Love y'all.
All right,
Later.
see you next week, bro.
Say, brother.
All right.
So let's get through our questions because I'm also running against the clock.
Yeah, I'm ready to do it. I didn't think we'd be talking this long. Actually, I thought we were going to take a short one. I don't really have. I built it up to be something like we're going to be, diametrically opposed. Oh, I love America. I hate America. No, I just want you to tell me when you served. Where you're from, when you served, and then maybe something that you remember about 4th of July growing up.
Okay. So I know that this is a way for Ty to get me to give him real worthy content because I don't ever send the effing videos that he asks.
You know my plan, bro.
So, I mean, I can say it. My name is Matt Johnson. I've only been on the show for 3 years. So if you don't know that, then you probably live under a rock. Anyway, I served in the Navy for 22 and a half years, 1996 to 2019. Growing up, 4th of July, I mean, I grew up as a military kid, so there was always a barbecue somewhere. You were around friends and families for wherever you lived, and shooting fireworks, having a good time. That's what it was all about. Just to see the fireworks and see all the flags on the streets and just be proud to be an American. That's what 4th of July means. It's our Independence Day. And that's what it should mean today. It's like we're in America. You should be proud to be an American. So.
Absolutely, brother. You want to wax poetic about?
Sure. So,
Berto, first before you go, thank you for coming on the show.
Oh,
thank you for coming and hanging out with me for the last couple of days. It's been enlightening.
Thanks for coming to do that video with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well,
life got in the way, man.
yeah. Sophie, the queen, or the Princess Sophie Leia, my Shih Tzu, had to be picked up from the.
No, I got you, bro. I
Cleaner,
just want to
and
give Berto
that
shit.
You know about dogs being pampered, like
Oh,
this dog
100%.
sits like this, and tells me when to get her a treat. So yeah, but shout out to you, Berto. Appreciate you coming, hanging out with me, and I appreciate you keeping us on the straight and narrow. Licensed clinical social worker. I often say that he became a licensed clinical social worker and a therapist, and a damn good one because of having to serve with me for so long. So wax poetic, brother.
All right. So I did just shy of 8 years. 2 deployments, and I would say, ironically, like you can tell I'm a bicentennial baby, right? My fondest memory as a child of 4th of July was being able to go to the ice cream truck and buy firecrackers and those little snap thingies, right, that you throw into the noisemakers or whatever. That was a fond memory. Now, the memory of 4th of July that will always stay with me for good things and bad things is actually going to the National Mall and watching the national fireworks go off. It is a once in a lifetime. I would never do it again, because trying to get out of there is a nightmare, right? And this was, I don't know, 90s, right? Those are my fondest memories, right? And, you know, like Ty and I were talking earlier about like all the factory senses and like smelling apple pie and like those memories that come back from grandma and like that safety that you feel, right? When you think of grandma's cooking and or like, hot dogs and pork on the grill and the smoke and all that stuff and the freshly cut grass. There's no better smell.
Freshly cut grass, bro. Well, Will, I appreciate you coming on. I'm going to drop you down, and then
Sure.
you can hang out with me and watch the rest of the show. You can go and make yourself mi casa su casa, bro.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Berto fight.
Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
Thanks. All right, Matt. So I'm going to share mine next week, but like I can just say, just to, as they say, caveat off the senior chief petty officer. Like I remember growing up in Corbin, Kentucky, watching the fireworks in the Trademark Shopping Center right there in Corbin, Kentucky, where the original Kentucky Fried Chicken is, and just being the happiest I could ever be in my life. And then to see where I'm at 50, knowing the people I know, experiencing the things I've experienced them with, and then being right here with Matt Johnson. That like, however I tell people I'm emotional napalm when it comes to my personality, but Matt just is like, all right, let's do this, man. Like you keep me in line, brother, and I appreciate you and hope you have fun next week flying.
I mean, I'm not going to fly it. I mean, I would totally take the opportunity to fly the jet if they would ask, but it's probably something I haven't learned how to do yet. Mac, I saw it. I will reach out to you about the baseball, let you know what they're doing there.
Stay safe, Bob.
For sure. Doc, thanks for coming on. I appreciate the comments. As always, you are a wealth of knowledge, and it's always fun to come in here and do it. It's fun to actually talk about other things, and I love our guests. I love talking to people, but should we be sympathetic in Hallmark Channel? We're people too.
Yeah, we're people. We can do Hallmark Channel today, but most of the time, I love what we do, but
yeah,
time, every now and then you got to throw a change up.
Yep. So before we get out of here, Ty, so couple of things, right? Couple of things. If you live in Houston and you like whiskey, or you just like to hang out at events, Got Your Six is going to be at Texas, Giant Texas Distillers Saturday from 4 to 7. We're doing a hat bar there. So it's basically a gear issue. You pick your patch, you pick your hat, I put it on there, and you get to walk out the door with it. So we'll be there from 4 to 7. You can buy a ticket at the door, but there's also an opportunity if you go to the Giant Texas Distillers website to buy a ticket to the event. It is to benefit a veteran organization. So we'll be out there. If you're out in Houston, you like to hang out, come check us out and say hi. And we'll see you next week. Well, I won't see you next week. Happy birthday, America. Happy birthday, America, to all the people in the Triple Threat Vet Platoon, and Al, Ty, and Berto. But, it's a pleasure to do this. Having a lot of fun doing it. Can't wait for our future guests. If you want to be a future guest, reach out to us, and we'll see what we can do.
If you or someone you know is in crisis, contact the Veterans Crisis Line at 1-800-273-8255. Then press 1.